the show. Let's see what has been happening in the wrestling world. Welcome to the show, where comedy meets wrestling by fans for fans. The Two Counts, always the best guests in Midwest. The Two Counts, great time guaranteed because we're the best of the best. Meet Big Ace and JR, Top Shelf Tommy, we're about to start. Welcome to the Two Counts. It's time to dig deep into the wrestling world. Welcome to the Two Counts, where comedy meets wrestling by fans for fans. The Two Counts.
The Two Count. The Two Count. Where comedy meets wrestling. Please comment, share, like, and start a hype train for God's sakes. And now, here are the hosts of The Two Count. Comedian John Russell, wrestling broadcaster Big Ace, and everybody's favorite heel, Top Shelf Tommy.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope you had a good Labor Day. You're watching The Two Count. JR here with you, Big Ace and Top Shelf Tommy. We got a great show this evening. We'll be talking about Madhouse, and we'll get to announce the main event for Malice's Little Shop of Horrors, which is going to be a lot of fun. We also happen to have a special guest who happens to know a little bit about that main event. And we're going to talk about Clash at the Castle. We're going to talk about All Out. We're going to talk about CM Punk being a punk, I guess. We'll figure that all out. But
so, like, ever developing situation. Like every half hour, something new's come out today about that shit.
I know it's crazy. It's crazy. Hey, Dan, good to see you. Happy
Danny's back in the
Tuesday.
chat. It worked.
Happy to see that. But at any rate, one of the things we like to do is babble on a little bit. Tom, did you do anything over the long holiday weekend?
I got drunk on Friday. I got drunk on Saturday. I had a couple drinks Sunday during All Out, and then, that was about it.
Oh, well, that sounds like top shelf living.
Damn right. I was whiskey drunk is really what I was. I shouldn't just say drunk. I was whiskey drunk.
Yeah, makes sense. Ace, did you go golfing at all?
Oh, yeah, I had a busy weekend, man. So, like, Saturday, I was in a golf tournament. Then we had a big draft party. And then I was up in the cities by, like, 8 in the morning. And I went to the state fair with my homeboy, Chris Lawrence. He was playing down at Cafe Carib. It was pretty sick, him and his band. Tom was supposed to hang out with me, but you heard what he did this weekend.
Whiskey drunk.
I wasn't hung over as bad as I thought
you
it was
were
going to be.
hungover.
A little hungover, which there's a difference between me being hungover and a little hungover. A little hungover, I was just tired and realizing that from the time I probably would leave the state fair to then hanging out with my buddy Mike to watch All Out, that I probably was not going to get any kind of fucking sleep. So needed to catch a nap in there somewhere. Dan, you destroyed your liver, or you're saying that Tom destroyed his liver?
Anyways, yeah, so that's what I did. I did that. Would have been nice to have a friend to hang out with for 4 hours while Chris was playing, but that's cool. Whatever.
Make friends then, you motherfucker. You anti-social fuck.
Well, I didn't invite all my other friends because my one friend said he was coming the night before.
When I was drunk.
And you know how much crap you give people, so he probably didn't want you hanging around his real friends.
Wow. I mean, of all the slings and arrows to fucking throw my way, that's what you're gonna fucking do, huh?
Well, I mean, yeah. Labor Day.
Fucking disappointing you, JR.
But see, that's the thing, Luke. He didn't want to invite you because, Tom.
Anyways, no, it was a good time. I'm just giving Tommy shit because, we're grown men and he's still partying up like a fucking 20-year-old out there on the weekends.
That's a problem, man.
Yeah.
People like to hang out with me. I don't know if you know this or not.
And
also the people I was hanging out with on Friday were older than I am.
I'm just saying.
Oh, I mean,
sober.
I technically also lined up a fucking showcase on Friday night to start doing at a place called The North, aka former Willie's.
Willis.
Yeah. Tell
Nice.
jokes, get stabbed.
Boy, way to be fucking downright awful about it, JR. Just
I remember going up there long before you started.
So negative.
Oh, yeah.
So hurtful that you say these kind of things.
It's not. It's the truth. Oh, my God.
We're not doing it on a Sunday night.
Good to see you again. There's Malice. Good to see you, Malice.
Hello,
Got
boys.
you for a bit. Clint, good to see you. All right. Well, let's quit dawdling, Ace. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hang
and
on.
Hey.
Look at your screen a little closer, John Russell.
I'm looking at it. What?
Okay, so look and see what we can't do right now.
What can't we do? What?
I don't know what he's gone.
I don't know what he's talking about. I never got stabbed. That's true. Tover. What's going on?
Do you see him there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and introduce him, and I'll pop him.
Because I don't have him in here.
Well, go ahead and introduce him, and I'll pop him up there. He's there. Believe me. Believe me. He's waving. He's saying, Ace, come the hell on.
Well, just introduce him then. My StreamYard is being kind of weird right now, actually.
Oh, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're super honored to have with us the Madhouse Wrestling champion himself, Clay Cooper, ladies and gentlemen. And there he is.
Hello.
Good to see you, Clay. Congratulations on that big win down in Knoxville. And holy cow, I thought you were, I'm sure you've heard this from many, but I thought you were dead.
I felt dead. I still feel a little bit dead. Still a little still recovering. So,
my God, coming off of that balcony, you could hear an audible gasp in the room, and holy cow, it was like something I've never seen. And congratulations to you for, my gosh, pulling that out. It was fantastic.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. It also is, there's a lot of pain involved. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
But so that's all that really matters.
Absolutely. Well, now, so here's the deal. That's water under the bridge. You've accomplished that. You now are the holder of that title. Here's an interesting thing. Madhouse 3, Malice's Little Shop of Horrors, takes place in Newton, Iowa, and you happen to be a native of Newton, Iowa.
That is right, and I can assure you that the entire city of Newton will be there to support me. So,
it's just amazing to me, and it's so cool. As I think Ace mentioned before we came on, we drove by the Thunderdome, and it looks like a heck of a place to hold a wrestling show.
Yeah, it's a big building. It used to be, Skate Cast, last time I was there, I was 16. Now at 25, Madhouse champ, I'm going to be making my first title defense. It's going to be amazing. In the main event, in front of all my friends and all my family, in the entire city of Newton, baby.
And the cool part about it is the front row's already sold out. So, everybody's going to be close there. There's Daniel Mott. Hello, send Mott, everybody.
Send him back home, maybe.
He's going to beat the hell out of you one day, Tom.
Good luck.
Sorry, Matt. I'm having some computer stuff happening, so I forgot to send you your message.
Oh, well, he gets a special message from you all the time?
No, but he had asked me today to let him know when we go on. Yeah, because I'm nice to people.
So who knows?
Oh, I'm very nice to people.
Don't show up to your friends.
Excuse me?
Leave them hanging at the fair by themselves. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Again, if you could make friends, you'd have more of them. I am basically being paid to hang out with you.
That's not
You're
true.
welcome, by the way.
We make no money.
Oh, we make plenty of money, man. Don't fucking lie to the audience like that. We make plenty of money. Clay, I'm sorry you got to hear all this stuff between me and Ace. He's just being a bonehead.
It's okay. It's all right. I mean, you guys, you do your thing. I'll just sit here, relax, have this bad boy over my shoulders. So.
Well, here's the first question I have for you. Clay Cooper, what the hell's with the alliteration, man? Like, your parents thought you were going to be too much of a winner, so they had to, like, hinder you a little bit? What the hell are we doing here?
You know what? I don't know. And it's better. It's a better name than a lot. Like, I don't know, Tom. That's a pretty dumb name.
100%.
Not Tom Chilstrom, though. That's literally one of the coolest names you can think of.
I'm happy with it. I don't know. I don't want to change it anytime soon.
So we for God's sakes, there's the golden dork.
Yeah, Bryce Jordan, the real champion.
I hope he's still injured.
Okay.
I mean, I don't mean it like that, but I mean, I hope he's. I don't have to run into him.
The real champion.
Jeez, this is there we
Who the
go.
fuck
Sorry.
has me on Echo.
All right.
He's the
Everything
king
on
of
my
Echo.
computer decided to log out, so I had to log everything back in. I'm back. Okay, sorry, Clay, for whatever mess you just had to deal with. Hey, Tina, I know he asked you something about your name, and it was probably something stupid, so we're going to move on from that.
Jesus, man. Normally, I'm the one who just makes the insults around here, but I feel like I'm being fucking like, really just brutalized right now with your back and forth. Jesus. Can't escape some insults around here, man. It's like coming from all angles and shit.
Here's the deal. We have a champion on the screen with us.
You're
His
right.
time with us is limited. And we should be talking with him rather than your little girlish argument about the fair.
So, well, I was going to ask a question until you decided to get in there on that one, JR. So, way to slow it down even more. Clay, what I don't care to hear about where you train and all that, because that's something that we know about, and everybody asks that question. It's a very easy question to ask, but I just want to know where the passion for the pro wrestling world came. Because you can't really just, I mean, you see people get into pro wrestling who are like, I could do it because they played football or whatever, but to be successful, there's got to be a passion for it.
There has to be a passion for it. When I was, I don't know. I mean, I was wrestling my brother Dalton for a while there. I was like 8 years old, 8 to 18. I think is when I started training. We'd fight all the time. We'd wrestle all the time. I learned a lot before I even started training. So when I did start training, it went very smooth. So. They taught me a lot, but
what was
Go ahead.
I was just say, what was the first live wrestling event that you went to, Clay?
To be honest, I think it was I was really tiny. I think it was a Raw or a SmackDown or something at Wells Fargo. We were clear up there, nosebleed seat. I think all I remember, I'm pretty sure Evan Bourne back in the day did the shooting star press. And even that high up in the nosebleeds, it was fantastic. It was amazing. So as soon as I saw that, okay, yeah, that's going to be me.
Hell yeah.
Right away. But Madhouse is just good. So.
Well, and now you're jumping off things, getting all crazy. We thought you were seriously hurt at the last match, and look at that. 2 minutes later, you're carrying gold. So what's that feel like to get into this world, be in this industry, and then to have a company put a title on you? That's a lot of faith in you.
You know what? It's been a while too. I think I've been wrestling since I was 18. I'm 25 now, so I'm. I feel like it should have happened way sooner. That's all I'll say. But, I held the tag title before this back in like probably about 5 years ago ish. And that was it. So I'm happy. I'm proud of this.
Nice. Very good. It was some pretty intense matches to get that thing on your shoulder there. It was no easy task. AJ Smooth is quite the competitor. Did we still have the boys on there? The Madhouse boys still on there? I thought I saw something about 8:39. What is he saying?
Oh, Malice was
that's something else.
saying
Oh,
yeah, I don't know. That was probably something else.
Oh, okay.
I think he misspelled Tom, and I think he said Tom is a blast until about 8:30 or 9 o'clock.
I was wondering who Tim was because the conversation right before we went live for a second there, JR, I was like, huh? Anyways, let's get
And Luke's still there.
Let's get into the big announcement before we get into some more stuff just about Mr. Clay, since we're on the topic of how he got that gold, which was a grueling battle with AJ Smooth, who, I mean, if you're in the Midwest, you know who AJ Smooth is. Guy's a legend in Iowa and the Midwest area on the independent scene. Not an easy task, but you pulled it off, Clay. You pulled it off. Manders didn't do it. You did it. Almost died doing it, but you did it. But now, Clay, we're going to announce the main event for the next big show. And, I mean, you got some tall task in front of you, brother. We're going to throw that graphic up there, JR. Go for it. There it is, boys. That is the main event. Madhouse Wrestling 3, Malice's little show of horrors. We got a three-way dance for the Madhouse Heavyweight Championship. You saw AJ Smooth and also the role model, Maddie Starr. Both have their sights set on you, Clay.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll whip both their asses in.
That is one hell of a matchup right there, though, man. I mean, you can't take either one of those guys lightly, and that's going to be a fight all the way around for the three of you.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
I'll tell you, I mean, if it wasn't enough that you had to defeat AJ to get that title, now you throw in a legend like Maddie Starr. My God. So how do you plan for something like this, Clay?
I'm gonna keep flying, keep kicking, keep punching. Really, is all. I mean, I fought Maddie 100 times. I fought AJ 100 times, and I'm gonna beat them both at the same time for the first time at Madhouse here in Newton, Iowa.
Well, now you say you're going to beat them up, but I mean, you're not the biggest guy in the world. I'm not saying that any of the guys are super huge individuals and stuff like that, but I mean, it's a three-way dance, man. That's a lot of weight for you to be trying to wrestle around and stuff like that. Like, can you give us a little bit of insight to maybe a strategy or two or something, or no?
Just beat them both up, my man. Beat the shit out of both of them in front of everybody I know.
It's a good point, though. When you have two guys like that, you got to strike fast and you got to strike first. Real quick, Common Knowledge sponsoring that main event at the show. So yeah, make sure you check them out. And we're gonna get more into that Madhouse show later on. We'll obviously be doing a nice big preview show to that one. But I want to throw that graphic up one more time. Guys, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, make sure you do so. General admission, $10 going down at Newton, Iowa. And man, front row's already sold out. Those people are smart. And they bought that, I'm pretty sure, before any matches or cards was announced. So they're going to get their money's worth. Get yours. Come out. Have a good time. Madhouse is going to be taking over. And I don't know if you guys saw that commented in there by Luke, but Madhouse 2 is coming to a streaming device near you soon. Very big news on that front. Can't wait to hear that.
Awesome.
So keep checking it out.
I just want to say one thing real quick. Now, Clay, you got AJ and Maddie, but the good news is that it's in your hometown, and you've got that third man, if you will, of all of your friends and family from Newton that are going to be right there in your corner. I think it's a tremendous spot for you to be able to take both of these guys.
Exactly. I feel like I have the advantage. So I have no issue. My first title defense is in a triple threat match. I don't even have to get pinned to lose my title, but it doesn't matter.
I mean, it does actually, because if you don't get pinned and lose your title, that's a kind of hell of a way to do it, right?
Well, that's the thing. I ain't gonna lose this bad boy. I ain't gonna lose it. I'm gonna hold on to it until I vacate it and move on somewhere else to freaking nowhere.
The plan. Okay, so I was about to get kind of back out onto the Clay Cooper train here, and that question was going to be, you've got the Madhouse title, but there's no ceiling to this. So where does the future go for Clay Cooper? What are some of the things you got your eyes set on?
This is my first singles title, and it's not going to be the last. And I'm going to hold on to this, and there's going to be one on here really soon. There's going to be one around my waist really soon. I'm going to be collecting them. That's my plan. That's my goal. It's been 6 years for me to win this, and it's not stopping with this.
Hell yeah, man. Keep it going. And there's a lot of titles out there to be had, especially in the Iowa area, in the Midwest area, and just on the independent scene. And, of course, moving on to the bigger, better things. And, man, I'd love to see you grab them all. Grab all of them.
I would say, speaking of bigger, better things, Clay, how many different states, how many different promotions have you worked for to this point? I mean, it's a lot, right?
It's quite a bit. Traveling everywhere, all around Iowa. I think I've been to Indiana once or twice. I don't know. I haven't keeping track, to be honest, but I've wrestled a lot of matches. I've wrestled in several states, and I plan on wrestling in more states coming up.
Beautiful. By the way, I don't know if HCW is around. HCW, if you're watching and back, this is a guy that you should contact and book him in one of your shows as well. He's out of Mishawaka, Indiana, I think.
Elkhart.
Elkhart.
Way off.
You old man. It's Elkhart, Indiana.
It's close.
Anyways, everybody should be booking Clay Cooper.
Yeah, King of the South is also in here, by the way. Good to see you back, buddy.
So,
also another booker.
Clay, when you look back to some moments of pro wrestling, you mentioned it kind of just was around and you were wrestling your brothers, all that good stuff. But when you look back to the pro wrestling world that you grew up watching, what are some of the moments that stand out to you that you try to maybe take a little bit of that into what you're doing now on the scene?
So I feel like a lot of people say this, but Jeff Hardy obviously flipped off everything. That was exciting to me growing up, and that's just kind of what stuck with me, to be honest. Jeff Hardy.
Man, yeah, I love it, and that's what's crazy, man. You do some crazy shit in that ring. You do some crazy daredevil shit in that ring. It's always a blast. If people haven't seen it, they've got to. So get tickets to any show he is on. Let me ask you this then: when you do look to that pro wrestling, road ahead of you, are there some things you haven't done that you'd like to try to do? As far as I don't know how much of just where are you trying to go as far as territory, towns? Is there some key places you're like, hey, I got to cross that off the bucket list to be in this area and to be in a ring?
Right. So right now, my main goal is just wrestling try to wrestle every weekend. Do that for about a year, and then my plan is to kind of branch out into the bigger promotions and better, like New York City. I want to go there. That'd be great. Never been there. It'd be great to wrestle there. So that's
what.
California, I want to hit that up.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I do have to say, real quick.
You might. I'm good. That's me.
You're looking very dapper tonight, by the way. Almost top shelf like.
Almost.
I'm just saying, Tommy. I feel like that's some top shelf attire.
He looks like a champ should.
Be in the top shelf club with that right there?
I don't know. He said some things that kind of pissed me off. So, I know Shank pissed me off when he was on the show originally with me, but and we worked it out. So maybe Clay can be part of that top shelf life, but I don't really think he wants to be, because he's talking a lot of gibberish about God knows what. He's going to go to New York and California. The guy lives in Newton, Iowa. Like, let's be real honest here. There's nothing top shelf about Newton except for maybe the next show.
Or Clay. Or
Yeah, I stated what I stated, okay?
So, have you ever wrestled before?
I don't need to wrestle. I'm a performer in other ways.
Have you played any sports ever?
Oh, absolutely, man. Played sports all the way into college and stuff.
Oh, I don't believe that.
I know you don't believe it because of the size that I'm at right now, but I know little guys just don't have to imagine too much to be able to visualize themselves playing sports. But yeah, I played sports all the way through college. I was on some practice squads in college and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah.
And adult league stuff like soccer and football and basketball and volleyball and softball. You know,
the king of the intramurals.
King of the intramurals, king of the adult sports. I don't know where you're going with this, Clay, but it's starting to really piss me off is what I'm saying right now. So how about that?
Oh, look.
Flag football. I heard soccer, but you're probably talking about pee-wee soccer. Either baseball, softball, whatever it is. T-ball, whatever. You know, man, that's all I'm hearing. That's all I'm hearing. So if you want to play sports or something, just do it. We'll just talk about it.
I did play sports until like about 4 or 5 years ago, man. I was still playing active sports. What the hell is wrong with you, man?
He blew a knee out when he was like 8, ruined his career.
I mean, I could still run ropes. I assume I could still probably do a lot of this stuff in the ring. I've never tried. How about that? But I have had some open challenges before from, like the Death Dealer and Jimmy Wild owes me a chop or two.
And here's the deal, Clay. We have an open offer to have Tommy go train with one Justin Decent. And I mean, if that happens, there's going to need to be some people there to kind of, go in the ring against Tom. So we're taking names right now. Like, yeah, we'll hit you up when that day happens, and we'll have you all come on over to the training facility that day. and JR and I will get in there too. We just
is this my hazing?
No, I think here's the thing. I compare you like one of the standout matches to me in this Clash at the Castle, which was this weekend, and I'll go this. It was Gunther versus Sheamus. And part of the reason was because Sheamus, with his red hair and pale complexion, man, those chops stood out like crazy. And Tom, you're the guy. You're the guy that will advertise those chops.
To make Tommy's chest look like ground beef. That's what we're going to need out of you, buddy. All right. He says thumbs up. So we're going to get that done someday. or not, either way. But yeah, I don't know. We're going to come and do the training. It's going to be pretty interesting. And none of us really should be in the ring, but we're going to try it eventually. Justin will get his hands on us. So you guys are all invited. So let me ask you this then, Clay, if you had to give us like your top 3, and it doesn't have to be guys. It could be guy, gal, manager. It could be commentator, whatever. But for you growing up, you look at those top 3 just personalities in the world of wrestling. Because for me, one of my all-time, and JR can agree, and I think Tommy even would agree, one of my all-time favorite just entertainers from the world of wrestling is Bobby Heenan, who, yeah, we could consider him a wrestler for some of the stuff he did. But, I mean, he was a mic man. He was a personality. But he'll always be my favorite. So who are some of those guys for you?
So honestly, the guys that I looked at and I looked up to and I thought they were awesome. They did the promos they did, hilarious, fun, great, whatever it may be. El Generico, top of the list. Loved El Generico. Kevin Steen. Kevin Steen. And Kurt Angle was, he's still fun to listen to and great at everything. So.
Dude, that's a solid list right there. That's a solid. You got a Hall of Famer. You got guys who will be Hall of Famers, guys that are fingers crossed about to hold the tag titles in WWE together, which to me will be a big mark out moment to see those two have those titles. Oh, yeah. That's a solid list. I like that one. All right, boys. We're about a half hour in. Should we start doing our questions? Start to get to know Clay a little bit more.
Sure, why not?
All right, JR, you started off and then go to the Tommy and then me. So we're going to just ask it random, dude. Like, again, some of this may not be wrestling, but all of it, let's just get to know a little bit more about Clay Cooper.
All right. Clay, other than wrestling, what pastimes do you partake in?
Baseball.
Oh,
Yeah, big baseball guy. Throughout high school, I don't want to get into it, but baseball was my thing.
Okay.
I chose wrestling over baseball.
Who's your favorite player all time?
Now here's the thing. I never. I feel shitty saying this, but I didn't really ever like watching baseball. Is the thing.
I love playing it.
I learned it. I loved playing it, but watching it was never my thing.
Dude,
That sounds like a typical Iowa boy right there.
The same way a lot of us feel about golf.
Yeah.
Fun to play, sort of sucky to watch.
Up until last year, yeah, that was me for sure. Now I love watching it. I don't know what happened. I don't know. All right, Tom, you're next.
All right. So, of the two owners of Madhouse, who's your favorite, Luke Raven or Malice?
Good question.
And they're both watching right now, so be careful.
Actually, let's take this a step further. If you had to off one, who you offing first?
Whoa. I'm just asking for favorites, man. You're going to all of a sudden throw out killing people?
I feel like that's more Malice's speed.
What do I have to do with the other one? Let's just kill one and just let the other one.
I guess if you kill one of them, we know which one's your favorite then.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're getting at. It's just
I'm not going to answer this.
No, you have to. You have to give us an answer.
I'll tell you mine. They're wives. Those are my favorite because they let them do all this shit.
Jesus, what a fucking pansy you are.
Hello?
Goddamn right.
Oh, I think Clay, there we go. Yeah, you locked up for a minute there, Clay.
Wait, who's your favorite, Tommy?
Of those guys?
Uh-huh.
I don't have to say diddly shit. I asked the questions. I don't need to give the responses, okay?
All right. You don't have to answer it. I wouldn't either.
Yeah, they're both my favorites.
Exactly. That's we don't bite hands that feed us. All right. So my question is this, Clay.
Yeah.
What is your all-time favorite fast food restaurant?
Oh, got to go with the BK Lounge. Absolutely.
Dude, I mean, the Whoppers seem to get overrated. Like, I think people don't appreciate it as much as they should. Should be a little more respect on the Whopper name.
That's true. I'm an original chicken sandwich man myself.
Yeah, those things were good too.
Very interesting.
The hot dog, they used to have hot dogs, and I tell you what, those were the best hot dogs I've ever had.
I don't think I've ever had that. I don't know if I could. Yeah.
It doesn't good when you think about it, but when you try it, it's a different story.
I remember, like, there was a time where McDonald's did brats for like a summer. You guys remember that?
I don't, because that sounds gross. I remember something
they
gross
were
like
actually
that.
Johnsonville.
Yeah,
so
they were just Johnsonville brats.
Yeah. Well, so we're talking about food, Clay. I don't know if there is a Made Right in Newton.
Yeah.
Is there? I mean, I love me some Made Rights. That's because I'm from Iowa. But gosh, what do you think about them loose meat sandwiches?
Them loose meat sandwiches, I tell you what, John, they are fantastic. I'd get it more often, but I can't. So,
well, you gotta keep a championship shape.
Championship shape, but I mean, I would, yeah.
Oddly enough, someone up here from that area was like, "Hey, when you go down there next time, go to the Made Right."
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do that on October 22nd, JR.
Absolutely.
Tommy can have some too.
We have to go back to the Perkins though and see if the girl can deliver all of our food.
It's not as funny as you think it is, JR. Anyhow,
yeah,
what's
you
the
weren't
drink?
there. It was hilarious.
Whatever.
You weren't there.
Yeah, sure. Your storytelling ability is great too. Shut up. Next question, Clay. What is your drink of choice?
What's in the glass?
Dr. Pepper.
Nice. I like it. Probably that's what it'd be.
$5,000 2-liter of Dr. I should add.
It's that top
Right.
shelf shit.
Oh. Whew. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Tommy's a little disappointed that that's not actually whiskey or something.
That's the thing. I was drinking this, I was trying to, but I never have drank before, ever.
That a boy. Good for you.
Yeah, I guess I can't say anything bad about it if you've never drank before. You just don't know the joys. So that's good to know.
That's true.
They're temporary joys. All right. So who is your favorite, like, music, band, singer, whatever, but like who is like the holy grail for you when it comes to music?
A lot of people think I'm really weird for this, but I don't really care for music is the weird thing. If I had to pick, I am like back in the day, 50s, 60s, 70s type of guy. I'm an old school guy. Elvis, Buddy Holly, So if I had to pick,
JR saw all of them live.
No, I didn't.
Only half of those guys.
They were long dead before I was in high school.
Whatever. You saw Buddy Holly's plane going down. Fuck you.
He helped him get in the thing. JR actually is an Elvis impersonator. Sometimes.
Oh, I am not. I used to be a long time ago. Thank you very much. Let me ask you this, Clay. Here's a question I have for you. If you were going to be, whatever. What is the absolute worst venue that you've wrestled in?
the worst venue that I've wrestled. Well, I wrestled at some. I don't know if you call it a venue really, but it was at a county fair in like 11 hours from here in Nebraska, and the locker room was like a little tiny like bathroom for everyone. Horrible. I'm never doing that again. Absolutely.
Awful.
Not a lot of people were even at the show, so it was altogether. It was not a great experience. I think it was about 11 or 12 hours away. So.
Damn, my God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so that was the worst venue, which is normally a question I get to. So thanks, JR, for stealing my fucking questions too. You fucking old bastard.
Poor baby. Not smart enough to come up with more questions?
No, I got more questions. So
then why would you bitch about it?
Shut up for a second, you idiot. So you say you're not into music much. So the real question is, how fucking dare you? How about that, huh? What are we doing here? You're not into music? You don't drink? Do we need to make sure you're actually not like an android or a robot right now?
I mean, how would you do that?
I don't know. I've never had to check. I never had to ask a question to somebody if they're an android or robot.
But hang on, though. If I was an android...
Hey, right there. It's a real bottom shelf thing to say.
All right, ask a real question now, Tom.
That was the real question, man. I need to know, man.
No,
this guy says he doesn't really like music and doesn't... Like, Jesus, man. I got to know.
So here, let me help you, Tom. When you say, is he an android? Is he a robot? I would venture to say that with his facial hair, and certainly he might be Amish, as there are Amish in the neighborhood of Newton.
They make good furniture, though.
Okay, fine. Clay, are you Amish?
I am not Amish, but I will say...
You're on camera with us right now?
What a horrible fucking question, Tom.
Okay.
I don't know. Never mind. I think I don't know how to say this, but throw like an iPhone in like in their village.
Uh-huh.
To see the outcome of that.
Right.
Start worshiping it, or like we know what they do.
Right.
They'll just whack off to it or something.
Yeah. So I mean, those poor guys. All right, let's keep it going. What is your all-time favorite WrestleMania moment?
My all-time favorite WrestleMania moment. Well, see, now there's a lot of WrestleMania moments. I feel like that's not quite fair. I don't know if I
pick two. Pick two.
Really fair.
I want to go back a ways and man, I'm gonna keep it short. So Seth Rollins, obviously, him winning that belt a few years ago, cashing in. That was a great moment. So I mean, one for me, most recent, we'll say. I love that.
Yeah, that was good. It's the only one I didn't see live. It's the only WrestleMania, guys, I did not watch live. Only one.
What a disappointment.
I was at a Stevie Wonder concert, though. Bro.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, worse decisions have been made.
Oh, my God. I will kill you for that one.
That was a compliment to fucking decision to go to a Stevie Wonder concert. God,
how dare
fucking
you
know how to
talk to Steve? Don't say it down about his name like that. Stevie
I
Wonder
was
is
honoring the legacy of Stevie Wonder.
Get your name out of his mouth.
All right, Tom.
Is it my question?
Yeah.
I thought it was JR's question.
Oh,
No.
I'm sorry.
He just said to keep his name out of your mouth. That was his question to you. There you go.
That wasn't a question.
No, that wasn't a question. I have plenty of questions. So, Clay, I don't know if you have any pets, but would you be a dog guy or a cat guy?
I've got 3 boxers.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. I got
Wow.
3 boxers. Dogs.
Boxers are the best. What color are they?
I've got a fawn, a brindle, and a black one, but it's I don't know the actual brindle rather. I don't know, but yeah, they're all gorgeous dogs.
Super cool.
Oh yeah, Chief, Django, and Boom.
Oh, great names.
Nice.
That's solid dog names. Hell yeah.
All right, so you're not much of a music guy. Do you have a favorite comedian?
Ooh.
Malice. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so now here's my next question.
Okay.
And it's not so much a question, but, well, I'm going to ask you to do something for us, because here's the deal. Obviously, when we got on here before we went live, we could see your background, bunch of Game of Thrones stuff. Nice. But here's the problem. The 3 of us have never watched Game of Thrones. So I want to give you a nice minute here. And Mr. Champ, I want you to sell because I have nothing. There's no reason I've not seen it. I've just never watched it. So I want you to sell Game of Thrones to us. Since none of us have watched it, tell us why we should. Especially now that it's over and they're in like a spinoff now, right?
Oh, well, I mean, you can... Yeah. All right. Game of Thrones, it'll mess with your emotions, and it'll build you up, and it'll rip you down. They do things that other shows don't have the balls to do. They'll do, like, whatever you can think of, they probably did it. And it's unpredictable. It's not what you would expect. I don't want to go too into it because I don't want to give it away for you guys. But lots of cock balls, tits, all that stuff, all that fun stuff. I know that's everybody. When everybody thinks of Game of Thrones, they think of all that. So if you guys are into that, then there's a lot of that for you guys. Tom, I know you like to watch shows like that.
Sorry, you kind of broke up there a little bit. I like what now?
Love the nudity.
Yeah, lots of nudity. So if you like that, it's good. Lots of killing. That's great. Great stuff. Fun stuff.
I mean, you kind of have me sold right now with just nudity and killing. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a great Saturday night. What's up?
Usually all you have to say. And people
I'll watch that.
People are going to watch it. I recommend it. When the very first episode, the first 5 minutes, I was hooked.
Okay.
So this is a follow up, and it won't be my question, but the follow up is: so is the spinoff? A, is it good? B, can you if I were to start watching the spinoff from episode 1, would I need to go back and watch complete Game of Thrones to kind of get into it?
No, you could watch because the spinoff is like 180 years in the past from Game of Thrones right here, so you can watch whatever.
So it's like a prequel.
Yeah, it's a prequel is what it is.
Okay.
So.
Nice. I like it very much. I might check it out. Do you guys watch Cobra Kai? Any of you? No?
Yeah.
No Cobra Kai guys? Comes
Sorry.
out this week. I'm pumped. Then I get to cancel Netflix. Anyways, Shall we?
Here's my real question, quick.
Oh.
What's your favorite post-match meal, Clay?
That's a good one.
So my favorite post-match meal. So, it was, I can tell you what it was. A couple, 3-4 years ago, it was the old Burger King hot dogs is what it was.
Woo!
Mhm.
Love those suckers.
Damn it, JR.
Sorry.
Damn it, JR.
Not there anymore. So, I mean, I don't really have, I eat whatever.
Dude, no, the hot dogs was a good answer. I like that. Taco Bell used to be my go-to. It's not anymore. It just hurts now.
Yep. John's
Yeah, dude, potato olays all day.
for sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Should we get into the Tom game here, guys? Or do you have one more
Absolutely.
question, Tommy?
I was going to just ask. I mean, obviously, JR stole my regular question of worst. So, what's the best place you ever wrestled? And not promotion, but like actual building.
Location.
Building. I mean, I want to say Waterloo, the Hall of Fame show.
Yeah.
Wrestled there. That's a great building. I don't remember what the venue was called, but actually, what they do is the Countryside Wedding and Event Center, Knoxville.
Here we go. Guy jumps off the balcony twice, and he thinks he got the fucking run of the room.
Correction, once. He was thrown off when he won the championship.
Yeah.
Oh, thrown off, jumped off, whatever.
Through a table.
It's better if you're there to watch it, Tom.
I saw it when he was jumped off, or as I like to say, he pulled the Jimmy Wild spot. But whatever.
Hey, man. Jimmy maybe did it too, but Clay won with it. So, no. And to be real honest, yeah, you going through the table was a pretty scary moment. So great to see that you came out with that gold on your shoulder there, and it was a beautiful moment. And I can't wait to see this triple threat match. I'm putting my money on you. I think I know I shouldn't say that because I have to remain neutral. Because really, I just don't want Maddie and AJ to beat me up that day before show starts, especially Maddie, because he'll do it. So yeah, I would. Yeah, my money's on you, friend. So I can't wait.
My money is
All righty. All right, folks. Here we go. Time for the old Tom game. There we go.
All right, Clay, this is pretty simple. So most people know the game F, Marry, Kill, right? So of the three of us, it's a lot like that. You're not effing marrying or killing any of us, but you're going to pick of the three of us who you want to be your tag partner, who you want to be your opponent, and who do you want to be your manager.
Okay, my tag partner. I'm looking at. I mean, do you do the same question every?
Everyone plays this. Every guest plays this. We keep it
Everybody.
tally too.
I feel like everybody's answers are pretty similar. So, Big A, tag team partner, John, manager, and Todd. What we got there? What does that say? Oh, doesn't matter. That guy down there, he
Getting pinned. He's getting
Top
pinned.
Shelf Tom Chilstrom, by the way. And yes, you're right. Those are very similar answers to a lot of people. Literally a duplicate of the last four people from TS Aggressor all the way to Josh C to Jason Prentice, and then last week's representative and interviewee Clay or Cole Cannon. So
Someone else you know pretty well there. But you know who chose to beat me up though, Clay?
who did that?
Malice.
Malice did. Malice.
The boss decided to beat me up. I don't know how I feel about that.
Probably
Teach
just
you a lesson.
I guess. All right, Cole, before you head out, what is your social media? Let's hear it all. Let everybody know where they can find you. And then one final thing before you hop off.
Okay, so Clay Cooper _ the wrestler on Instagram, on Facebook is the All-Star Clay Cooper or just Clay Cooper. And I don't do Twitter. People think that's pretty weird too. So, I mean, that's where you can find me.
Perfect. And then again, guys, Madhouse Wrestling show number 3, Malice's Little Show of Horrors. It's going to be Maddie Starr and AJ Smooth and the Clay Cooper all in one ring with the Madhouse Wrestling Championship on the line. Front row sold out. General admission tickets $10, going down October 22nd. Newton, Iowa at the Thunderdome. Be there. We all will be. It's going to be amazing. Before you leave, why don't you send out a little message to AJ Styles and Maddie Starr?
Smooth.
Oh, sorry.
AJ Smooth. Yeah, call it AJ Styles. Let's see it.
So many AJs in the world of wrestling now.
There is. So AJ Smooth and Maddie Starr, I've looked up to them when I first started wrestling, and now I'm going to show them who is better. I am the all-star. So everything that they can do, I truly believe that I can do better, and I'm going to show them at Madhouse here in Newton, my hometown. So they can, pull off all the little tricks that they would like to, hit me with whatever weapons they want to, but they need to believe that I'm going to win, and there's nothing that they can do about it.
So I believe Bryce Jordan just called you a coward. Any response to that?
Bryce Jordan called me a coward. You know what? I don't think I've ever fought Bryce Jordan. I wouldn't mind putting this on the line against him sometime.
Kick him in the nuts for me.
Fucking bitter as hell, JR.
JR will be in your corner all day on that matchup. Clay, it has been a pleasure to have you on here. It was a pleasure to see you win that gold for Madhouse. We can't wait to see you on the October 22nd. And guys, he's going to be at other places too. I believe a couple weeks here, platforms. Am I right? You're on that show, IPW?
Yep, wrestling for the IPW Extreme Championship against Cole Can.
Weird. We just had both of you on. So that's going to be one banger of a match, guys. So check that out. And I mean, yeah, this guy is going to be all over the Midwest, guys. Check him out. What do we? Oh, why is Bryce Jordan talking shit still? Anyways,
this is Bryce Jordan. Why wouldn't he?
I don't know.
Come on,
Clay
dude.
Cooper, Madhouse Wrestling Champ, everybody. What a pleasure. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Thanks.
We're going to see you soon. And again, come back sometime here soon. We'll have you back on. We're going to do some stuff from Madhouse, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So
cool. Absolutely.
Awesome, buddy. Enjoy your night, my friend.
Yeah.
Thanks, Clay. Continued success.
Thanks. See you guys later.
Have a good one, Clay. Gentlemen, I think the way we should do this is, well, first of all, I'm going to put the video back up just because I didn't see it down there, and I think it's cool. So, yeah, let's just throw that up one more time. But I think we should start with WWE and Clash of the Champion, or Castle, because, let's be honest, we're going to have a lot more to talk about with the all-out results and just all the post-dramas. So, boys, did we both watch Clash at the Castle?
You mean did all of us?
Well, I'm talking to you, so I'm asking, did you both watch it?
Yes.
There you go. See, that's the proper English.
So you watched it or not, jerk off?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Because I didn't say it right doesn't mean you can't answer it.
It
right.
kind of does mean that, but.
Perfect. All right. Well, first of all, did you watch the kickoff show, though?
I did not watch the kickoff show. I don't believe.
Nobody does.
Well, I didn't watch it live either. So how about that?
Neither did I either. Madcap, Moss, the Street Profits took on Austin Theory, Alpha Academy. Madcap, Moss, and the Street Profits win. Blah blah blah. I mean,
I don't know if I've ever heard of a worse matchup right now for WWE.
It's filler.
Well, and that's why it's the kickoff show. I mean, it's just, first of all, the Street Profits, man, how they have fallen so hard. And let's be honest, all these people are being teased for other shit. I don't know about Madcap, but like the Profits are going to split. We're already kind of seeing the seeds being dropped about they're going to probably fight each other because it's going to be who's going to have the bigger singles career, and then Austin Theory's got his shit with Johnny Gargano. That's going to turn into something. And then you got the two teams, Alpha Academy and Street Profits, which I have to say, I really very much love Alpha Academy and what they're doing. It's a good team. Gable's really done good with that.
See, that's the thing. He's always done well in tags, and Otis is a tag guy before this too. So it's
good.
The fuck was that?
I just was going to say.
I just heard some beeping in my fucking headphones. I don't know what the fuck it was.
It's probably
are weird, man. My StreamYard was shitting out bad right at the beginning tonight.
I don't want to forward too far ahead,
Well, then don't.
but as you know, Braun Strowman came back and pretty
Yeah.
much shit all over the tag team division anyway last night.
You know, and
Yeah, he's going to win with a kid again.
Yeah, and I seen some people say that they didn't like how they booked him, but it's like, it's Braun Strowman. All they're trying to do is show him beat up like 6 guys at once. What better way to do it when you have all the tags out there? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. That's not what he's getting booked into. It's just how to bring him back on that Raw. The other thing too is it wasn't even a surprise. Like, everybody knew he signed. It was like public knowledge. So,
but I guess the thing to me is there's plenty of different ways to do it than that. I mean, he could just go through the back and just start beating the shit out of people. He could certainly do that instead of ruining the entire tag division.
Well, it was for the number 1 contendership, and just to not shit on you real quick here. One of the smartest things ever done as far as a fatal 4-way tag match was done last night. And I don't know why Angel Garza thought it was a good idea to tag in both members of New Day, but then they kind of realized, like, okay, I guess we're fighting. And then literally they try to sneak pin each other. And it's like WWE is in my fucking brain and in my conversations, because I have made this comment plenty of times.
Oh, yeah.
Fatal 4-way, both you tag in, make a fucking quick pin, and you walk away as the new number 1 contenders or new fucking champions or whatever. It's how it fucking should go.
yeah, it would have been beautiful if they won off that.
So anyhow, yeah, but Street Profits fucking in the garbage, and Braun Strowman, I guess that's the best way of using him, right?
For now, just a debut. I mean, let's see what they really use him now. Let's move on, though. We got Bianca Belair with Asuka and Alexa Bliss. They take on Damage Control, Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai.
Waste.
Well, again, this is just I mean, these are all people that are going to have different feuds. This was just all for the show overseas.
So my opinion is, oh, sorry, JR. Go ahead. I'm going to let you go ahead and speak, JR.
I was just going to say, look, they bring people in, they dick them over. There is absolutely no reason or rhyme that Damage Control did not win those tag championships that I can see. I don't understand that. If the whole thing is that they want to build Bayley versus Bianca, okay, why does everybody got to be involved?
No, dude, but for the tag titles, I kind of really do think that Aaliyah just pinned the wrong girl, and the ref just counted it without realizing it. Like, I don't think that was the plan.
Well, I mean, you can still fix it. I mean,
and they are. That's why they got the match next week.
You old curmudgeon fuck.
Because they did come out on Raw and they addressed it. And I loved how Dakota Kai did the whole. And obviously, I wasn't the legal girl in the ring. So it was great. Yeah, and they're going to get. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised they pull the trigger and they put them on them next week. Like, Raquel Gonzalez, awesome. Big future.
Rodriguez.
Sorry. Dude, I'm so fucking.
Name changes, baby.
Dude, I'm trying to just remember so many goddamn names because I've been like actively watching both shows again lately.
Well, and you've also been calling, you've been, ringside with commentary. You've been doing
a lot. It's a
ring.
lot.
Yeah. You're the ring announcer. I mean, you got a lot of names to go through. So I understand. JR, when he fucks up.
Must be close to payday because look who's kissing ass again.
It's a lot. Anyways, children.
First of all, listen, you know what? I will fucking slap the living shit out of you. Are you going to be there on Friday or are you going to just be there Saturday? Because I will open hand slap you in the fucking Rotunda Mall America. I will fuck your life up, okay?
Boys, we're going to get into that. We got They announced the first match for that show.
By the way, from that picture, I thought Orange and Effie were the same dude.
Yeah, it kind of looked. Yeah, for a quick glance, yeah. So we'll get into that before we end the show, though. But yeah,
that three-way was terrible, though.
This was all just for the overseas show. There's no story to this, and there's going to be no story continuing, really. Yeah, we already seen it. They're going to have the tag match. the point of the whole point of it should be Damage Control gets all the women's gold eventually, right? So we'll see. I don't know.
Well, one thing I have a problem with is the fact that when you build it up and you say all this stuff about this, the first time they've had a stadium show in the UK in 30 years, and then they pinpoint the fact that, yes, SummerSlam in 92 was the last one at Wembley, old Wembley Stadium, and then you don't have, you're not trying to keep continuity with as far as like who's going forward after this stuff, and you have no title changes, you don't have any of that shit. It's like, I have issues with that because they really did set up SummerSlam 92 as an actual, hey, this is staying with the brand. And I know it's Cardiff, it's not London, but like if they're pressing that much as far as phrasing goes, right? Like they should have something that's a little bit better than like this weird, awkward 3-on-3 women's match, in my opinion.
I feel like this was a big test show to see if they could go back over there and sell, which they know they can when they go to Raw. But I think this was the test to go back and be like, can we fill the stadium?
Well, I saw like a Hamburg flag. I saw like a several other like areas of Europe. So people were, France, French flag. So people are there and they'll travel to these WWE events because it is still the biggest show on the fucking planet right now.
Yeah. So I'd be surprised if in the next year we don't see something pop off at a big stadium in London and it be a bigger show and get more of like a show that's continuing what we're seeing on TV.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it used to be. I think we'll see it. I do think we'll get this one every year too, though. Maybe not. Who knows? But I did enjoy. I did enjoy the first match going in, and it kind of just kept getting better for me. I don't know, because we go into this Intercontinental Championship match where JR, you said earlier, we got Gunther, and he reunited with Ludwig Kaiser. And Giovanni Vinci to have Imperium back. Yeah. No theme song, though. Really wish the old theme song would have came back with them.
Yeah, but I mean, little steps, I suppose.
Little steps, but what we did get is Gunther and Sheamus having an absolute fucking banger of a match.
Gunther.
Whoever, go ahead. But it was amazing.
I would say Gunther is, my God, so good, and so, and I've said this before. He's trimmed down quite a bit since he was Walter, and to me, he doesn't look as good thin. I liked him with a little bulk to him. But having said that, geez, he and Sheamus and the match itself was fantastic. And then the accolades that Sheamus got after the match was over was fantastic. That made me feel really, really good too.
Yeah, he could definitely use a little more muscle on him to fill out a little bit, make him a little bit bigger. I agree, but looks great, was going great in the ring. Tommy, I mean, look at Sheamus' chest. Like, that was the first 2 minutes. By the end.
Yeah. We saw a lot of that this weekend as far as massive chop matches. And yes, it did not look good. I mean, this is kind of like almost a throwback to those Walter Ilya Dragunov matches where Dragunov's chest was inflamed, like red, black, and blue, all that sort of stuff. I was going to say to JR, though, too, like, you're right. Like, as far as when a bigger man like Walter / Gunther slims down, he also doesn't have, like, the same definition in his arms as a lot of these guys do. I think he's definitely stronger than he looks. I mean, that's kind of like the normal thing. Yeah. A lot of back strength or whatever, but some guys just don't have that arm definition. I think that's always been the thing is, like, he's the ring general, right? He's smarter than you. He's willing to go to those depths of depravity, just chop the shit out of you and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of things that go into that character, but you're right. When he slims down, it doesn't look as intimidating because there's not that, huge barrel chest kind of right there. And he's, it just doesn't quite look right now, but I think they're going to probably get him in the gym, do some weightlifting and stuff like that, get those arms and shoulders a little bit more defined. So give it like 5-6 months and stuff like that. He'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll actually have to work for it this time. Vinny's not there to just shoot him up. But yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Eh,
Woo! Dark side of the fucking ace over here.
but yeah, dude, I very much enjoyed that match. Probably match of the show for me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Yeah.
not for everybody, but
No,
for
I would
me,
agree with that.
And you know, I forget because I remember Sheamus debuting, but like, yeah, the fucking guy's a veteran at this point and a
Mhm.
legend at that. So to see that the respect he got after that match, after Gunther left and he was leaving, man, I mean that was a cool moment to see. You know, I've gotten to meet Sheamus a couple times. He's always nothing but a gentleman, super nice guy. Like he's always been cool when I've met him. He treats fans so good. So to see a guy get that after a brutal fucking match too, like that was cool, man. I was very happy for him that night. We move on though to the SmackDown Women's Championship. Liv Morgan defending against Shayna Baszler. Liv Morgan gets the pinfall to retain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll
look,
just
Yeah.
go ahead, JR.
Well, let me ask you this: because when she first got her shot and got the title, it was like people were on Liv Morgan's back, like loved her. Something has changed. People seem to not really care about her now.
see, I think what happens, and this is the same thing that I feel for Thunder Rosa, is that there are certain personalities. Liv Morgan is one. She is a fantastic underdog. Everybody is behind her to get that title, and then when she gets it, she got to lose it because she can't carry it. It's the same thing with Thunder Rosa. It's the chase for some of these certain underdogs. They're just not the right person to hold on to it long term. And that's why I was disappointed, I think, that Shayna didn't win it. Because I would like to see Shayna versus Ronda.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that's the match everybody would like to see. Do you still like Liv Morgan, Tom?
I do, and I definitely agree with JR on a lot of aspects. As far as I believe that there is certain people you want to see chase a title. John Moxley is a fine champion, right? But he is better in the chase because he's more dangerous. He's more cunning. Like there's a lot of things about that character that are better when he's chasing gold. And underdogs are always better chasing the gold.
Yeah,
Except when it's like Bryan Danielson, right? Because there's a character behind that. There's layers behind that. And it's not that Liv hasn't developed some of those layers before, but she's not shining as bright as a champion as she was when she's trying to get there and become that. Because she's had opportunities in the past and people felt like, oh shit, like Liv fell short again. So there's that letdown. But when you finally get it, you need to give the people the payoff that they need, which is you're a confident champion. You're viable as a champion. Like you're holding your own. That's what Bryan Danielson did when he finally got there in WWE, especially. And people forget that is part of being a champion. You know, like as much as I didn't like the guy tonight, Clay Cooper showed himself to be one of those guys who can hold himself in his own as a champion, right? Like he came in here, he was very stern, he was very appropriate with the title, and I will give him this credit too. Cole Cannon did not always have the title over his shoulder there. That man kept the title the whole time right there, like kept that shine on the screen. So you know what, Clay? I might have disrespected you a little bit, but I hope you're still watching this, hoping you're still listening. But, good on you. You might have some top shelf life in you still yet, but that's kind of what you're looking for. You're looking to somebody get past that barricade, bust through it, and still be that confident person they had to actually be able to get to the point where they win the championship. And I think Thunder Rosa dropped the ball early because she wasn't showing up and she wasn't really being around. Mm-hmm. She wasn't as feisty as a champion, and that's not the character. We want you to kind of maintain, but go to that next level.
It's harder to get behind someone when they don't have anything to lose.
Right.
So I do understand what you guys are both saying, and as much as I love Liv Morgan and wanted to see this happen, It's definitely already been a shift. And yeah, it's like, okay, I miss that Liv that's never going to go away. Always going to be just coming back and trying. So yeah, I definitely get it. Moving on that card though, because again, and it wasn't a horrible match. And I did like the storytelling. I will say that I like the arm. I like her trying to break it. I like her being like, I'm waiting till then to break it. I like that came into play. I like the tease of, and the pictures they put out the week before with her and Riddle training in MMA. I like that she tried to use some submission moves. It was a well thought out match and story, which was cool. It's just Liv is just not kind of probably there right now. And yeah, like you said, who doesn't want to see Shayna versus Ronda? Everybody wants that match.
It's
so
well past due at this point.
Exactly.
Well past due.
But it kind of feels like we're going to get Ronda Rousey maybe versus Scrap Daddy. That seems like where they're headed. Edge and Rey Mysterio take on Judgment Day, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, of course, Rhea Ripley with them, and of course, Dominic Mysterio accompanying Edge and Rey, even though kind of questioning his dad, like, why you choosing Edge over me? Whatever. I don't even remember who won this match. So Edge and Rey beat Judgment Day. But obviously the news and the big moment out of this is Dominic Mysterio with the low blow to Edge and then the clothesline to old Papa Mysterio and the walkout. So Dominic has officially turned on his old man, which thought we were going to totally get them as tag. Oh, we did. They were tag champs, so it is time.
2 or 3 years in the making.
Yeah. And I have to say, guys, adding Rhea Ripley as kind of this third figure in this whole Dom turning on Rey, beautiful. It works so well.
I like the fact that Rhea is like the puppet master in this whole thing. And there's just something that is even more creepy about her, like than she deserves to be, because she's like, before she was this, I mean, I liked her. Was she booked into some weird spots? Of course, but this was all pre Vince or pre Triple H. But I love the way that she is now. It's just, and she's got that smile on her face, and the whole thing is that, man, it was beautiful to see Dom finally do that, and I mean, I'm happy for him. We'll see if he can pull it off and wrestle.
So I'm going to go a little bit into last night's Raw. And again, I didn't necessarily see the whole show, but I did see this part, or maybe even like a recap of it. But I do like, because I thought he was going to cost Rey and Edge the match. He technically got them the win by tripping up Finn, and then Finn getting the 619, followed by a spear, followed by taking the pin, and then he turns after the Judgment Day is already backstage up the ramp and everything. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then coming out last night, Rhea Ripley. By the way, there really should be more female leads to heel groups, right? Like, I don't know if you guys remember like PMS back in the day. That was a little bit weirder because I was technically just a female stable that didn't really wrestle, but they just had meat around. So that was always kind of weird.
Hey, man, anything with Terry Reynolds is okay with me.
Yeah. Or who was or Ryan Shamrock too? Ken Shamrock's sister.
She was a government. My favorite part of that was when Val Venus banged Ken Shamrock's sister, and he like wanted to kill Val Venus for it. Oh, right. Hilarious.
But anyhow, but Rhea Ripley coming out last night saying he might be your son, Ray, but I made him a man. I was just like, I was just hoping these fans, what was it, like Des Moines, Iowa last night? I was hoping, Kansas City, excuse me. I was so very hopeful that they just start going like, lost your V card or something like that. I think just start chanting it, man, because I thought that'd be hilarious. But it's a great time for the turn.
Someone posted a picture too, and it's kind of funny because you had Buddy Murphy in the storyline with the Mysterios, where he was kind of dating Aaliyah, I guess, Ray's daughter. Yes. I don't know, whatever. And now you got his real life girlfriend Rhea over here, who has this like weird S&M relationship now going with Dominic. It's kind of funny.
It is very funny, but no, it's going to be good. I think we are going to start seeing, Dom's going to start carrying his own as far as being a wrestler.
Okay, quick question then, both of you. Does Dom start to become a stronger talent? Not wrestler, but just overall, do we see Dom, his career start taking a better shape now? Because I feel like he's kind of just been stuck next to Ray, but like, are we going to finally see him maybe shine? Because this kind of feels like it's that get off the fucking, show up or show out. Like,
take a shit or get off the pot.
Or get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
He really hasn't done much.
I personally kind of have the feeling that it's going to be, for lack of better terms, more here, dog, come this way. For Dom. I'd like to say it was different, but Dominic has not shown that he has a lot of talent on the mic. He's not certainly the best wrestler out of that group. I don't know. I mean, I hope the best for him. It only makes that whole thing better. But even if he is the sub, I mean, it's still okay.
Yeah. So one thing I would like to see, and JR pointed out a lot of good things there, which I hate to give him credit for, but he did. One thing that I think with Dominic that's kind of very evident is that you can see Ray's training on him, right? Because he is about a foot taller than Rey Mysterio right now. And so it looks like he's trying to be the small luchador until he does the frog splash, right? And then you actually see him be able to hit something where it's a little bit better and it's more built to size because he is much taller. He's not a typical luchador. He's not necessarily, I don't think, a high flyer, really. I don't know if you should really push him towards that. Like, I think he's probably more of more comfortable running the ropes, doing clotheslines, doing fucking submissions or whatever. And then I think with Damian Priest there and Finn Balor, I think he'll get a lot more shine like that because I think he'll, some of his lackluster points will be better like covered because you have other people who can, make up the difference there. And I think he'll keep learning. He'll keep getting better. I don't think he'll necessarily be a strong singles champion anytime soon, at least. But then credit to Kansas City again last night for the Eddie's son chant. That was fucking hilarious. Because you can't live that down, Dominic. You can never live it down.
Yep. Yeah, I'm excited to see where it all ends up going. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and as Dan mentioned, Dominic versus Edge next Monday.
Yeah, that'll be good. Seth Rollins took on Matt Riddle, and it's personal. Seth Rollins wins. Afterwards, we do see Riddle ask for his rematch and say he's going to get it one way or another, and then Seth Rollins laugh him off and say, no way in hell is he going to rematch. So this isn't done. We know this. We're going to see this again.
I'm done with it myself. But so I sent you guys a message. I'll tell everybody here. I did not watch the intros to a lot of this stuff. I was just trying to get from match to match. So basically end of one to the next, fast forwarding. So I did not see Seth Rollins' whole outfit and gimmick as he was walking down the ramp. Apparently he took that from the Elton John biopic where that was a costume that Elton John wore for that movie or whatever, or that character. But
no, he actually wore that on stage once back in the day, didn't he, JR? Elton John?
No.
He wore all
in fact, actually, no. They made that costume up for the movie.
It was just the movie. I mean, he's worn a lot of crazy shit, but that was with
very
the wings
similar
and all
stuff to it.
Yeah, but since I didn't watch his entrance to the ring and I just watched as he was in the ring and going, I sent you guys a message that those pants looked a lot like Curry Man, so I didn't know that Seth Rollins was a Christopher Daniels fan, but that was fucking good to see. But I'm over this one, man. Seriously, this needs to be fucking put to bed because Seth has been taunting Riddle since Cody went down about the whole fucking Randy Orton going down as well. So, like, he moved from Cody to Riddle because Randy was gone. He used a lot of Randy's moves last night. It fucking needs to be over, dude. Like, I can't keep fucking living this fucking loop of fucking do the show, do the match.
Look at it.
It's
this
over,
way.
man.
You
It's
got
done.
about 3 more months, and Cody will hopefully be back. The big question mark is still on Randy Orton. There's talk of it may have been a career-ending injury. No one really knows what's going on with that, or it's
Right.
not been disclosed, at least publicly. So there is that chance that we may never see Randy in the ring again, which would be freaking shitty. But yeah, a lot of questions around this. So because you feel like they're maybe waiting, obviously, for some of those guys to come back to continue this, and then I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is. Like, they can easily get off this feud.
Please.
I do like some of the shit they've been saying to each other and making it personal. I don't mind that. I think it makes for great TV. So
I'm fine with saying a few personal things here and there. That's great. But like, again, like, has Riddle won a match between him and Rollins?
I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of them. So
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just kind of done with it because I know that's been like the build forever and ever and ever. It's like, just fucking done, dude.
Yeah, and then we move into our main event. Roman Reigns goes up against Drew McIntyre, hometown boy.
A lot of working parts in this one too.
Really?
Well, as far as WWE is concerned, he's their hometown boy.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Fair enough.
And as far as the fans too.
Yeah.
I thought this was a good match. I enjoyed it. There were, as I mentioned, a lot of working parts. Karrion Kross sitting in the audience. Austin Theory running down with his Money in the Bank, which I thought, holy cow, that is going to. And I was surprised by that, and even more surprised when Tyson Fury knocked him out. I loved that because I hate Theory so much, and it was just one of the. I mean, it was totally unexpected. Now, I did fully expect that Reigns was going to win. I did fully expect some kind of interference, and as a debut of his other cousin, I guess. It was okay. It wasn't anything else. Then it got weird with the Tyson Fury coming in and doing the karaoke with McIntyre. I don't know what the fuck they were trying to do there.
Did not need that shit. Not at all.
Yeah. What, Solo Sakai or whatever?
Yeah.
Nice debut. It's smart to not necessarily just have Usos all the time. And I know he's been in NXT or whatever from what I got from watching it. I literally just watched right till the bell rang, and then I turned over because I watched it yesterday as a replay, and then I turned over to Raw. So I was like 15 minutes late for Raw. Anyhow, it was fine. I mean, it's nothing to fucking write home about, but that's kind of a Roman Reigns match at this point. Like you set him up where always right on the cusp, he's going to lose, and then something fucking happens, right? So it's fine.
Here's the thing with Reigns. It's like he hasn't won a match clean in how long?
Mm-hmm.
Since he won the title or the first title?
Yeah.
I mean,
probably.
To me, it's like that's what gets old. That's what I mean, and AEW does it too. AEW did it with Britt Baker for so long that I just, as much as I like Britt Baker, I'm like, let her either lose or win clean for once.
Well, let's get into it. Let's get into AEW All Out because we only have about a half hour left, and obviously the big AEW news has very much to do with what happened after All Out. So I'm going to go through these pre-show matches. We don't really need to say anything. I'm just going to say what it was and who won. Sammy Guevara, Ty Mello, they beat Ruby Soho and Ortiz. Hook beat Angelo Parker. Pac beat Kip Saban. Eddie Kingston beat Tomohiro Ishii. And
I want to say two things real quick. First of all, Kip Sabian looked awesome. I was happy to see him back in the ring. That was fantastic. Kingston and Ishii, Jesus Christ, you want to talk about splitting a gut. Ishii, literally hamburger, and the vein on his pec were absolutely insane. But other than that, everything else was
Yep. So then we get into the actual card here. We start with the casino ladder match. You have Claudio Castagnoli. How do you say his last name?
Claudio
Castagnoli.
Castagnoli.
Wheeler, Utah, Penta El Zero, Phoenix, Andrade, Rush, and Dante Martin, all in this match, as well as the Joker, who we then see, what's his name?
Stokely
from WWE. What's his name in AEW, though? That was his WWE name. Is it still Stokely?
No, Stokely
Carmichael,
Hathaway.
isn't it? Or Hathaway.
Stokely.
Yeah.
So he was able to transition his name from WWE to AEW, huh?
First name.
Good for him. So he comes out. Obviously, everybody he's been collecting, they all play interference. The Joker comes out with a mask on, takes the thing, leaves. We don't get to see who it is. Pretty sure on that walk back up the ramp after getting the briefcase, it was pretty easy to tell who it was.
My son said, look at the spray tan on his arms.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
So obviously it's like, okay, well, we didn't get a debut. We got a guy in a mask who took it and left. Obviously, we're going to find out who that is come end of the title match tonight. All signs point to who we all know who that was going to be. We move on to the Trios title match, and it's the Elite. They take it on Hangman Page and Dark Order, which the Elite win. Few miscues with Dark Order and Hangman. So where does that go? Does he stay with Dark Order? Are they going to not be together anymore because he kind of like took out Silver there and cost them the match? Like, how does that go?
Well, I didn't see I didn't see too much with BTE because they didn't come out yesterday. They came out today. But anyhow, and that's normally where they cover like a lot of the backstage stuff as far as Dark Order, Hangman stuff. I thought if they won the trios, Hangman finally gives up, becomes a member of the Dark Order, becomes their leader or whatever. I think with them not winning, they become so much more obsolete, obviously. But this is a good showing from Silver and Reynolds, especially to maybe keep them in like a tag team race or whatever. But I think this puts it a little closer to Paige coming back to being part of the Elite, if you will. And we even talked about it before the show as far as some other stuff goes. But
well, here's a little interesting twist to it. I mean, the reports are that AEW is not going to renew Fish's contract, Bobby Fish.
That's already done. He's already loose.
So that opens up a spot when Cole gets better. Maybe that Hangman goes with Cole. And
I thought I just read Cole got cleared like a week ago.
Yeah, Cole could have came back last night.
Yeah.
But no, I mean,
actually, you got Bobby Fish out there doing interviews last night or today, talking about how he's challenging Punk to a shoot fight, like for real.
Yeah, and then O'Reilly also had neck fusion, so he's going to be out for a lot longer. So yeah, there might be that where the Atoms combine and maybe they go after the trios with somebody else. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, go ahead, JR.
No, I was going to say that's a little path that it could go down as well.
Mm-hmm.
Lab Glass, good to see you.
By the way, you guys need to respond to Lab Glass's message, by the way. He sent out us a little challenge, and I would like to maybe get that on a show later on. As far as
what was it?
7 matches between WWE and AEW that you'd want to see in a pay-per-view. And he gave his, and I gave mine. So you two need to get out there on the messenger and get that. So
yeah,
because the man gives us bits and subs, y'all. So we need to.
I'll have to think about that one. That's
a good idea, and I would be
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving along, we got the TBS Women's Championship title up for grabs with Jade Cargill and Athena. Of course, ironic, they painted her fucking green because she's the greenest one on the roster.
Now, I will say this was her best match she's had, in my opinion.
Shit, though. Like,
I'm not
the entire rest of the talent there.
Yes, I'm not saying anything different. She did look really good as far as physique, her outfit, all that sort of stuff. I was, digging the She-Hulk look. I get that. It's fun. It's poignant to the time, if you will. Excuse me. It wasn't still a great match, but it was a lot better than what she's shown. It does make sense to maybe get her up to 40-0 before she drops the title, but
thank you, Dan. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, it was Malcolm Bivens. That's what it was.
Here's the thing, and I go back to what I was just talking about. If she's such a badass champion, why must she always have interference from the baddies? Why? If she's
for her,
I mean,
she just needs anyone and everybody to help.
But you understand what I'm saying, right? I mean, we carry it on to her and Goldberg. Goldberg didn't have any fucking buddy else. Goldberg just went out, and even though he was not a good wrestler, he just went on his own, and was and was clean, and that's just I just can't. Sorry, you.
When you're talking, I'll do it because you get worked up. So you
thank
just
you.
Keep talking.
I do.
I don't want you thinking of two things at once.
I can't even now I don't even know what I'm saying. But the whole point is
how horrible Jade Cargill is.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's just it's ridiculous to have these heel champions that can't win a match on their goddamn own.
It's one of those things where
it gets old.
No, that's not even possible, Lab Glass. It gets old, but it is kind of the heel way. But yeah, at one point there should be a pay-per-view match where she should be able to win clean. And not even just her, you're right. A lot of the heels in AEW have not, like MJF is a guy who's capable of winning clean and being a heel, but it just hasn't happened yet. Hopefully that's the match that happens against Punk. I don't know. There's a lot of questions. We're going to get into that. There's too many questions surrounding their future of a lot of things with this. So let's just get through the show first.
Yeah.
Because it is. A lot of shit's going to be affected by what may happen if this is all a real situation. So FTR and Wardlow defeat Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns, which was cool to see those guys on an AEW pay-per-view as they were out there. Our good friend, Casey Len, was here watching it, me, and I was just like, Jesus, man. I was watching these guys 15 years ago in TNA?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And still
almost 20 years ago now.
Yeah, and still can go. It was all right.
Fucking Brandon Gore's behind you, JR, right now. Fuck that dude. Worst tattoos in all of wrestling.
It is the worst tattoo in all of wrestling, right?
All of them. All of his tattoos are fucking god-awful. I hope he loses every match he ever fucking wrestles.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Anyhow,
we're gonna have him on here sometime.
Yeah, sure. I'll fucking ridicule him to death.
Yep.
Not literally, by the way. Just figure.
You will let him know that his tattoos are horrible.
I already said it at Bauhaus loud enough where you hear it, and that was a great fucking stare down because he did not see that coming, which is odd because I say it every time I see him. Anyhow, no, this trios match was fine. It was good to see Motor City Machine Guns and Jay Lethal. That was kind of a fun trios match, our trio group. I really hope this actually leads to us seeing, and I mentioned before, FTR go to Impact, win those titles as well, become the 8-star FTR, because that would be fantastic. But the best part of this whole segment with them was Sanjay Dutt taking the pin from an 8-year-old girl after she snapped the pencil, and Sanjay Dutt got it. Man, it was a feel-good moment of the night right there. That's for sure.
Wholesome.
They're all gone.
But here
needed something like that to happen after the chaos that went down after the show.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I want to just say quick though, Satnam saying, "What the fuck is he never going to do anything other than? I mean, come on."
I don't know if he knows how to wrestle. That's the thing.
Then what?
Well,
I
think
honestly, then why the hell do they have him?
Well, AEW is the land of factions. It's just we got to give them a lot of time to use all the factions they have.
Well, because Sanjay Dutt is not a wrestler anymore. He made that very, very clear.
Yeah.
When he took the role, he is no longer an in-ring performer. He doesn't really like even being in front of the camera right now. He feels him being there is actually taking away from Jay Lethal and from Satnam Singh. So I think the part of this is that they're both training Satnam Singh to be able to get better. I mean, he's a former basketball player. Footwork is probably already almost there with a lot of big men, especially, not roll your ankle and blow out a knee and shit like that. You got to know where everybody is. So it's just a fine tuning. I think they just don't want to put him out there and make him look too green since they already have Jade Cargill to do that. There you go, Ace. I got you, baby.
I just still don't know what to do with that. She's so awful. Anyways, Powerhouse Hobbs takes on Ricky Starks and defeats him. It's kind of sad.
I was surprised by that, to be honest.
I like Ricky.
Mhm.
Wanted more out of that, but whatever.
Yep.
That should have been better. Yeah.
And I
It
was
should have been.
surprised.
Swerve in Our Glory beats the Acclaim, even though they really were trying to like lose those titles. That was just an odd match. Not an odd match, but like, when did the Acclaim become like? Here's what I hate. The Acclaim are a great heel tag team. They are literally only over because of the whole fucking scissor me thing, because people think it's funny to do it. And then Billy Gunn got involved, and now it's this comedy act. And I'm not a fan because, again, they are a great fucking heel tag team. When they become face, I don't want to hear what's his name come and rap to the ring and talk.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, his disses aren't going to be the same on the heel guys, because it's like, well, yeah, like, it's better when he's ripping up the baby faces. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't like it. I like that Swerve and Keith Lee won, although that's not going to be a long-term tag team. We already know this.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So here's the thing. I'm a mark for the Acclaim just because I like the group. I even before Billy was there and stuff like that, I liked the group. I thought Max Caster was very creative, doing the short rap, like not trying to go out there and be the be all end all like Cena was in WWE, right? Like, it's a short rap as he's going down to the ring. It's great. And then Bowens, man, he's so high energy. And that's why you can't really say they were full heels, because he's still calling out the cities that they're in, man. Like that was the thing. He'd take the mic and then he'd, shout out, Minneapolis. The Acclaimed has he's not
right,
he's the
but
balance, right?
But it's not that he's calling them out to get the pop. It's just what he says. You know what I mean? Where
but again,
when Max is coming out and
name.
he's fucking ripping up and throwing fire at every baby face in the ring, they're the heel team. You know what I mean?
No.
And that's what they were, and they were
Right.
doing heel shit. I don't. Also, like, I'm sorry, like, we're gonna just be okay with Billy not being with his sons in just 1 week. Like, that should be some more of a storytelling aspect too. Like, there should be more to that. There should have been more of Danhausen involved with that on TV, and it should have turned into maybe Danhausen and Billy versus the Sons. But what the fuck do I know? Tony Khan knows best, because he's got full control of that locker room.
I think too, it's one of those things where the organic way that the Acclaimed have gotten over is, it's one of those things it's just happens.
Yeah, and it is. It's like The Rock. You know what I mean?
It's like The Rock. It's like Rusev Day. It's like there's so many things that it's just like, you don't know why necessarily that they go over, but they do, and everybody loves it.
100%.
A little bit of the bubbly. I mean, we can run down any kind of list that it's like, where did that come from?
Right.
Well, and like when we had Josh C on, right, and he mentioned that there's not real heels and faces anymore, right? It's about who the fans appreciate and who they like. So at this point, if the fans are cheering for them, I mean, that's just on them, right?
Yeah.
Can't get so upset about that, Ace. I can. You can't. I make it look good.
I can. And then we go into Tony Storm, Dr. Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida, and Jamie Hayter for the women's title that Thunder Rosa has, left vacant because she's hurt or mad, one of the two. Either way, it's just so much fun. There's just so many angles we could play with this shit, because there's just so many fucking stories going on about that place and their backstage.
I still like when Britt Baker brought the sandbag and gave it to Tony.
I do. Yep, that's good shit. Great match. And to be honest, guys, if Hayter would have won that shit, man, that arena and even myself at home would have been fucking going crazy.
Yeah, and she should have won.
And she should have won. Which, if she didn't win it, fine. But that match definitely proves Jamie Hayter is going to be a women's champion in AEW. And if not, they really are not booking her right, because she was the star of that match last night.
Well, not only did she carry a vast majority of it, but then the fans were in on it. I mean, Jesus Christ. I think everybody's kind of thinking the same way we were thinking, or I said last week, and we all were thinking, was it would be better to see Jamie Hayter versus Britt Baker. An interim championship match would be fantastic for everybody. Even if they stayed friends afterwards or whatever, like just the idea, like Britt Baker has to kind of take a step back, maybe be in the shadows. It's fun for everybody, right? Because she's conniving. She's really good in that heel role. And I think Jamie Hayter would try to be a heel, but like, those smiles just kind of creep in as the fans cheer for her. Like, there's things to that, right? And God damn it, like I can't wait for her to be champion.
One of the best moments of that match was when Hayter had it won and Britt broke the pin right before the end, because that look that Hayter shot her of what the fuck. Like it was like I'm like instantly I was like, why? I don't even care about their women's title. Fuck their title. I just want to watch these two go at it now.
Yeah,
because it's going to be a great story. And so, we say it every week on this show with both companies. They got their ups, they got their downs. Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker are an up when they finally pull that trigger.
Yes, because especially considering as you saw how they came out, different gear. Rebel was wearing the yellow and black that Britt was repping. So it's kind of fun that way too to see where Rebel might lie in the end if they finally do face off, which I think again down the road is inevitable.
And she's a great third wheel to that.
Fuck yeah, dude. And because she's charismatic, she's a bit doofy as far as on screen and stuff like that. She's just kind of a fun character, right? Because she doesn't need to be much more than that. And again, people who know their role, understand it, and just understand the business a little bit, which, Rebel hasn't been in it very long, but man, does she do it well.
Right. Okay, guys, we're really running out of time here. So I'm going to just give you the results. We don't need to talk about the rest of the matches. We'll just get to the main event, and then we'll get into everything else, because that's going to take the rest of the show. Cage beat Jungle Boy. Not really, though. So rumor, though, is that Cage actually has a serious injury, which is why he couldn't do anything in the match yesterday, and why they did with the angle of Luchasaurus, just destroying Jungle Boy. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if there's been a confirmation on it, but that's what I was hearing today, is that there is some sort of serious injury. So only time will tell on that one. Jericho beats Daniel Bryan. Cool. Sting, Darby. I mean, it was good. It was good. I liked it. Sting, Darby Allin, and Miro beat House of Black. I guess Malachi, sorry. It wasn't on camera, but Malachi did do a bow and a kiss to the crowd as he left, so it does appear he has been granted not release, but definitely time off. And then obviously we get into our main event. CM Punk, he beats Jon Moxley. Punk bleeding like a fucking pig. And then we got the Joker. It comes out. I think they should have did it differently, and I think MJF should have been in front of the crowd to pull the mask off, not backstage. But I like the phone call from Tony. I like all that shit. It was all right. It was cool. Definitely was pumped to see MJF back. The guy's the strongest heel and probably, top guy in the company. I'm all for him and Punk. We've seen it kind of already, but with the title, that could be kind of cool. Unfortunately, it got overshadowed by everything else that happened after that. Now, before we get to that, thoughts on the main event and thoughts on the show overall, because to be real honest with you boys and JR, we were at All Out last year.
Yep.
This was the most lackluster All Out they have had to date. This also may have been one of the worst pay-per-views they've had.
Yes, I was going to say that. Probably.
First of all, you're coming off 2 years solid of some sort of, maybe not a debut every time, but some sort of surprise return, some sort of big shit happening. We got none of that. The biggest thing we got was MJF. Oh, Samoa Joe returned too, which cool, but
yeah,
we've seen that return many times in different companies and this, so it's not new anymore. MJF was supposed to be that big moment, and again, it all is not being talked about because of every fucking thing else that happened. Now, what did this thing say about Dan and Bubba Dudley before we get into this?
Oh, that MJF shouldn't have given the finger when he came out and when he went backstage, but I disagree with Bubba because that's the character.
Should push them to let him act heel but popular and then give him the fans a figure, wasn't it? Yeah, Bubba's a fucking idiot. He's a dick to most of the fans too, unless you give him cash. So fuck him. I get it. They're cheering for you. but also Punk is a face. You know what I mean? He's
and it's in Chicago, so it makes sense.
Chicago, and on top of that,
Punk went crazy in Long Island. People forget that he went fucking off.
Well, that's the other thing. The only place MJF didn't do anything heel at really was Long Island, so that shouldn't change now. And plus, again, that whole theme of him coming back last night and that return is that he's the fucking devil.
Mm-hmm.
So why is it wrong for the devil to be giving the crowd the fucking finger? Bailey did it all day at Clash of Champions. Well, okay, she didn't give him the finger, but I mean, it was like, shut up when they were still singing her praise. Like, I mean, I don't know. Some of the stuff Bubba Ray says, I don't know. I don't always take. I don't agree with it.
Yeah, Bully Ray
he can be kind of a dick at times, and I don't agree.
He's a slightly younger Jim Cornette in my mind.
Yeah,
some of his viewpoints don't make sense because the audiences don't resonate with what they're saying. To that end,
Booker T's in that same boat. He'll say some shit that's like, Booker, you need to chill out, bro.
Yeah,
like,
Booker, he's he's bought too much into the WWE sugar and shit.
You're
like
doing
that,
way too many spinneroonies, brother. You're too dizzy all the time. So obviously they do their post-media scrum. They do their interviews. There's like 4 people who come and sit with Tony Khan. They do this. It happens at every pay-per-view they do. For the longest time, we've all been like, it's kind of cool that they do that. They talk to all the dirt sheets in the media. They all get to go there. I didn't watch this one till literally today. I heard all about it. No way you couldn't hear about it. But the big debate's going to be how much of it is true and how much of it is work. Is it all work? Is it all true? No one knows for sure yet, but hour by hour it starts to keep. Hour by hour seems to be pushing more towards it's not a work. So you guys know Punk goes off. What's up, Jake? Punk goes off at the post-media scrum. Goes off on Cabana. Goes off on the Bucks, goes off on Hangman, goes off on Omega, has some okay things to say about Cole and even MJF, even though at the end he was still kind of like he's a dick. I watched it before we went on here because I was like, I shouldn't just read this. I should see his mannerisms and how he's holding himself while doing this. And I know both of you were talking about like Tony Khan's reactions sitting next to him, and yeah, it was pretty apparent that there was some stuff he hadn't said there that Tony's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? What is he doing? But just what are your guys' takes on this? Now, just the media scrum. Let's not go past that yet.
As far as I'm concerned, and I mentioned that I was talking with Tom about it a little bit. It seems to me almost like Colt was looking for, Punk was looking for this. Punk wanted to do this. He called out this reporter, if you haven't seen it, who did improv with Colt way back, and the whole thing is, are you still friends with him? Oh, and whatnot, right? And I don't know where Trump, Punk was trying to go with this. I know. Shut up, Tom. I don't know where he was trying to go with it, but he certainly wanted to get to that spot where he could unload on Colt. I don't know. I mean, and he had other stuff on his mind, talking about Matt Jackson, I think it was, that made the comment about, oh yeah, I'm not going to take advice. And I just think I feel like Punk was out to let this out because he wanted to. He was not at the question that the guy asked him was not going to be about Colt. It was going to be about MJF anyway. And so it's almost like he knew this guy was somewhat affiliated with Colt, and he wanted to make a big deal out of it.
Right. That's kind of what I got out of it initially. I thought he went too far with the Scott Colton stuff, even to mention the fact that they subpoenaed his mother because they share a joint bank account. That's some shit you need to leave outside of this stuff. No matter how much you want to make it personal, And yes, the reporter probably shouldn't even ask any kind of question to Punk if he knows or thinks that Punk knows that he's part of improv or was in part of improv with Colt or whatever the hell that story is. My viewpoint is people need to, one, stop asking questions about personal things after these matches, right? So stop asking about fucking whether he's still friends with Colt or not friends with Colt or whatever the fuck it is, and ask pointed questions towards the match. Where you want to go from here? What is your response to MJF being here? Shit like that, because even though this is a business,
but in all fairness, at the media scrum, no one asked him about it. He did bring all of it up on himself.
Yep. Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like if he has
no one asked anything about him. It all stemmed from the interview when they asked Tony Khan about it weeks ago.
Yeah. So, and then he brought up the EVPs, and it was Nick apparently who mentioned like that Punk got Colt sent over to ROH and shit like that. Even though I've seen other things now saying that originally when Punk was being brought into the company a year ago, Colt said he would rather not be there. And I think that's why he got shipped over to ROH. I guess what came about was the fact that he just didn't know he was not going to be part of the Dark Order anymore, and he was going to be over in ROH by himself without any affiliation to AEW. That's where all that came from. Nick mentioned, spouted off a few things about, I don't know if this is Punk related, shit like that. So that's kind of the background of this, and that's why he's calling out the EVPs in that. But with it being so expletive laden with the F-bombs, which I've said several, so I don't know why I'm going to F-bombs now, censor myself. But again, I think he went too far, too many steps past where he could have gone when he starts referencing him as Scott Colton and all that other shit before. Because even if you're done being friends with him, there's people I'm done being friends with too. And I mention it in very small portions of people, like as far as if somebody brings up their name or whatever, or somebody brings up the idea of me being around somebody, I'll just say, no, that's not he's not one of my people. Or they're not my people anymore. Like, that's how you leave it. You don't mention this shit in public anymore, man. Like, I just think it went way, way, way too fucking far.
Well, and and the sad part is, in all reality, if you look at it, even if that's how it went down, where Colt said, "I don't want to be in that same locker room with him," that was before he bought ROH.
Yes.
So, in all reality, who's Khan gonna keep? He's gonna keep Punk, right? So, in all reality, it is. I mean, yeah, it's not that he got fired because of Punk, but because of all that shit with Punk. At the end of the day, it does end up being he doesn't work there no more because of CM Punk. You know what I'm saying? And I get where he's like, I didn't fire him. It's like, no, you didn't. But you also have to admit, your guys' friendship went through a lot of shit, and you're not the squeaky clean guy in this either. So, like, you have to at some point be like, well, I get it. Yeah, if he doesn't want to be in the same locker room with me, then yeah, I'm the reason he left. Because that's really what it is. But to do what he did, if this is all not a work, because again, no one knows. Tomorrow, this could all end up being just fucking a work on Dynamite. Who knows? Because there are some things about it, like you both mentioned, where Tony Khan seemed more upset about the WWE trying to steal talent than he did over all the shit that Punk said. You know what I mean?
Or even just blockading his event, if you will.
Right. So it was like, could this be? I think the problem. So my thing is, and I said this, I didn't like Punk when he left WWE because it was very clear of, hey, man, it's not always about you. And sometimes you have to do shit you don't want to do at work. But that's your work. That's your job. That's the contract you signed. Okay? You're swimming in a pool with like 8 other big fishes that have been there before you. Y'all got to take turns with that ball sometimes. It's just how it goes. So, just very unprofessional. Just very unprofessional. But then part of that lies on Tony Khan, because he has to have a bigger backbone with Punk and say, you may come in here thinking you're the fucking top dog of this locker room, but guess what? I signed the fucking check. So you will do what I ask. You will try to make nice, or you will leave. And the reason why I was like initially thinking this could all be a work is Ace Steel's been a producer there forever. He all of a sudden just in the last 2 weeks is part of the program now. You know what I mean? He's been there for how long doing this shit, even while Punk's there. But it took till this last little bit for the Moxley Punk match to have him involved. And then just oddly enough, 2 weeks later, after him finally being involved, and I've heard he didn't want to be on TV, but being involved in this for 2 weeks, and then it leads to this, and then this big thing. So I was like, this all has to be at work, right? Like, that's what I'm thinking. But now, you hear after this media scrum, Punk goes to his locker room, and Bucks and Omega go to his locker room, and there's an altercation. And, we saw some people tweeting about how, well, Ace Steel, he did what he did because he was protecting, backing up his friend and protecting his friend's wife. Because apparently they went to Punk's room, right? His locker room. Ace Steel's there. His wife's there because she was watching the weird looking dog Punk has. Because that's a weird looking dog, guys. Maybe a great dog. Probably would love it if it was here right now on Pendant, but he looks kind of weird. And I don't know. Apparently, because Punk, the rumor is too, Punk threw the first punch, right?
Yep,
That
that's
he
what I've
threw
been
the
hearing.
first punch at one of the Bucks. The rumor is Ace Steel got mad, and he did what he did because he was mad that they put his wife in this dangerous situation, which it's like, well, okay, if Punk punched first when they went to confront him, you threw a chair at somebody and also decided to use Kenny Omega as a chew toy.
Yeah.
So again, who really put who in the dangerous situation here in that locker room? And then, there's talks now that it became a legal matter because police have ended up getting involved. That's the last I've heard. We've been on for 2 hours. I'm sure there's been new things that have leaked on this fucking shit since we've been live.
Right.
It's an insane thing. And that's why I want to say it's a work. Because if this isn't, and this really happened, first of all, if you're Tony Khan, how are you not firing people today?
Oh, absolutely. It was also mentioned, Punk mentioned that he'll walk down the halls and he'll confront anybody. Like, okay,
And do
what
that.
if those guys just wanted to fucking come talk to you in your room, your locker room privately, and then you swung at Matt Jackson and you started all this shit, right? So, also, Ace Steel dropped the F-bomb early the week, so he's fine for that. He has to be fired if this is all true, as far as throwing a chair, biting Kenny Omega and pulling his hair. Like, yeah, I mean, if he doesn't lose his job, then it's a work, right? But, I mean, we've just seen so many things with Eddie Kingston's promos on Punk leading up to Full Gear last year, what Hangman said leading up to their match. I don't know if this is dividing the locker room or whatever, but, and again, because I don't know anything about backstage at AEW, and I don't know how their business is running, but if I'm seeing and hearing this right, it sounds like there's a lot of fucking problems, and Punk's handling this more with his fucking fist than with his words, because he said he's willing to talk to anybody, right, and fucking figure this shit out. And then if he backs it up with fist, man, like, you are quite literally a punk at that point, man. Like, they could have just been going there and be like, hey, dude, what the fuck? You're calling us out? Like, hey, why don't you come to us before this so we could work this shit out? And if you had a real issue, and that's the thing, people forget, if you're a real man, Punk, and you say, like, okay, I can not be friends with whoever I fucking want to be, that's fine. But most men I know use their words more than their fist.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes a long fucking ways. So, and same thing to Ace Steel, man. Like, just how it goes, right? And if the Bucks and Omega started the fight too, like, it's the same thing to them. Fucking words do a lot more fucking good than fists do. Plain and simple. And I'm not a man who is afraid of fighting either. I will fucking hold my own against anybody.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And sorry, JR, because we're going to go over a few minutes, but
No worries.
the last thing that changed is that Jericho and Moxley are now going to be on Dynamite tomorrow when originally they were not scheduled to be there. So obviously certain people are not traveling to the show tomorrow. We'll find out tomorrow who those people are. It sounds like a lot of people involved will not be on Dynamite or at the building tomorrow.
Where are they supposed to be broadcasting from?
Buffalo, New York.
Oh, yeah. So it's probably, well, I mean, Jericho basically said he was going to be there at the end for that promo with Daniel Garcia, saying that he'd be there, but wouldn't be going down the ring. So, and that is Daniel Garcia's hometown. So I'm guessing he probably picks up the win then for the Pure Championship.
Yeah, I don't know. But there's just so much talk. There's talk of People are going to get fired. Ace Steel might get fired. There's talk of people saying Khan should fire Punk for all this, which may not be far off. We have toyed with it, and I think when Punk debuted, I had said this to you guys. I was like, I was not a big fan of him on his last run because it wasn't for the people. It wasn't for the enjoyment of being a wrestler and being in the ring and entertaining people. It was all about, I just need to be the star. I just need to be the star. And then when he didn't get it, he left. And it was, kind of a shitty thing for someone to do where you're one of the biggest stars in the world. Like, why would you do that? Because you couldn't be the main guy all the time. Like, you're going up against John Cena and Triple H. Like, those guys are going to carry that load sometime. And it was always the same shit, right? In WWE with him, poor me, poor me, poor me. Poor me, poor me, poor me. And if this is what's going down, it's very much the same shit. So at the end of the day, Punk's a guy that maybe just shouldn't be in any locker rooms. Again, and maybe this all ends up being a work, but Punk had that attitude with MMA when he got his ass beat and couldn't hang no more. It was, well, whatever, fuck it. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
This is a guy that unless he's on top of it and getting all the acclaim, whatever, but it's to throw out the whole, like, you got your first $1 million gate on my back in front of Tony Khan on a press conference. Go to fuck you, bro.
Yeah,
that's some Jay White kind of bullshit right there, man.
You don't do that shit, bro. You did that he knows damn well, which is why he never did it. If he would have pulled that shit during Vince and all that shit during his WWE run, his ass got kicked out the door that night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's backstage shit, man.
But he's obviously thinks he's bigger than everybody there, bigger than Tony Khan, and that is a part of a thing with Tony Khan, that there's a problem. We've heard problems about that, where sometimes Tony could be a little too much of a trying to be the boys with the boys instead of being the boss man.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I feel like a lot of this chaos is the shit that Cody Rhodes was keeping in check. And then finally it was like, you got to pay me more. And when it wasn't happening, he's like, I'm out then. I don't need this shit.
Yeah.
My plan was to get that title the whole time anyways, bro. You were a stepping stone. Because this shit's been going crazy, the stories and the rumors and now this on AEW's locker room since he left.
Yeah, because wasn't he the EVP in charge of talent relations?
Yeah.
Or something like that. I mean, I know Kenny was in charge of like the female talent as far as like booking and shit like that. And like, I don't know, I think the Young Bucks, were around for tag and other things like Matt's side, like more like the marketing stuff with his wife being in that mix and stuff too. So
yeah,
it's
crazy.
dead though.
It's crazy. It's a crazy situation.
But these might be growing pains because we're 3 years in.
The other thing,
3+ years.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this also is just someone who is a toxic person and has been in a lot of the places he's been at before, and now they're getting the taste of it. It is what it is. We'll see what happens. I'll tell you what, if it is a work, it worked, because guess what? Everyone's going to watch Dynamite tomorrow.
Everybody's fucking talking about it.
So there you go.
JR, you got any parting words?
Not really. Other than the fact that we've got the Brawl at the Mall coming up this weekend.
Saturday Night Nitro. Get it right, just in case they're watching.
Yeah, Saturday Night Nitro. I still think it should have been Brawl at the Mall, but
I like
that's
Brawl
fine.
at the Mall.
And I'm excited to see that. And they do have a match that was announced, and we sort of alluded to it a little bit earlier. It'll be Orange Cassidy versus Effie, which I just think is going to be fantastic. And a lot of the other talent that they've announced that will be there is also going to be fantastic. So I'm looking forward to this very, very much on Saturday.
I can't wait.
Second match they announced, because the first match they announced was about a week ago, where they put Rob Van Dam against Dante Martin. So
that's right.
So that's the second match. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I know I will be at the Fan Fest. I believe Tommy will be joining me Friday night Fan Fest. And then if you guys are going, find us. We'll be there. We'll be at the mall. I'll be at the mall almost like all day Saturday, because it is definitely
come find us.
It's definitely first come, first serve for those seatings, and we want to have some good seats for this show, because
we'll have to talk about that, because I absolutely don't think anybody's going to save me a spot.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. Well, but if you can, we'll figure it out. We're not going to do
I'll
that
just
right now.
get there early and then take a nap in the chair.
Well,
God.
no, we'll figure it out when I get off here. So yeah, we'll be up there. So check us out. Also, make sure you follow our good friend Nerd D's Instagram for a chance to win front row tickets with him to Monday Night Raw in October at the XL Energy Center. So that's a cool little thing he's doing.
Oh, wow.
So make sure you check that out. Have a chance to go hang out with Nerd D at a wrestling show, which is a blast. We did it, and that guy is a fun time at a wrestling show. So
Certainly.
yeah. Otherwise, I don't know. Get your Madhouse tickets. There's some absolute shows coming up. We may or may not be at. We'll let you know more as we go get closer to those. But yeah, this weekend, Mall of America. Find us.
Awesome. You guys, thanks again for all of your support, your cheers, your jeers, your subs, your clubs, your...
We got none of those this week, though.
Well, that's okay, because I don't give a fuck. I don't know. I don't fucking care.
I know.
But anyway, scissor me daddy Tom, and we will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.